Hello and welcome to another episode of the In Between podcast. Let's go ahead and get this thing started. Hello and welcome to another episode of the In Between podcast with your host as always, Kyle McLemore. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you so much for tuning in. How are you doing out there in the virtual world, or is this the virtual world? Either way, how are you? That's great to hear, and I'm glad you're still checking in. As you can tell from this big old D on my chest, that it must be that time of the year where we're creeping closer to some football. Ba-dum, 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 ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum. Ba-da-dum, da-da-dum, psh, ba-da-dum, da-da-dum, psh. Ba-da-dum-da-da-dum-dum-bum-bum. I've been waiting all day for Sunday night. Yeah, that's right. Been waiting all summer for September 1st, or whenever the first name. August means preseason, which means like, ooh, the excitement of football coming, but then also like, who cares about preseason, honestly? Not me. Not this guy. I tried because I was just scrolling through and I'm like, huh? Denver Broncos, huh? Must be a replay. Click it, says live, and I'm like, what? Preseason, let's go. Russell Wilson on the screen. First time seeing Sean Payton with the orange and blue. So I'm like, oh, it's not a replay. This is live. Let's go. And then about 3 minutes later, I'm like, okay, well, that was fun. But let's check back in September because I don't care about preseason. Boring is what it is. Field goal. Missed field goal. Oh, and here comes the backup. Oh boy, the backup squad, can't wait. It's like, nah, dude, I tried, but it's so hard to be invested in a game that nobody cares about, in a game that means nothing. So, cool to see Russell Wilson again, cool to see Sean Payton in the new colors, very excited for the new season, purposely trying to keep my expectations low, trying to keep my hopes low like I did last year. Last year I knew it was not going to be, can't have like instant success. I think even when we had Peyton, it took a year or two to really mesh together, to really get a good thing going. And I imagine it's the same with Russell Wilson. It's all good. It's all good, dude. Take your time. It's all good. Now with Sean Payton too, it should be awesome. Take your time, build up the team, and then let's go. Should be a good year. Should be a very interesting divisional year because, just the AFC West looks pretty good. Chargers did pretty good last year. Chiefs are always there with Mahomes, dude. Bruh. Do you understand what you are witnessing? He did a forward little push pass. Oh! I talk about it too much, but it's just like, dude, they go so over the top. Can't wait. I'll have to look up the schedule, see what game one is going to be, the official game one. I think I looked strictly at the divisional games. I don't think we played Chargers till like December. I don't know. I'm going to have to relook, but exciting stuff. Football. Ba-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. It's pretty cool because it's like there's really no other sports that I get too into other than hockey, basketball, meh, baseball, meh. I think it's because for both of those sports, I don't really have a team to root for. I guess baseball. Like, I want to say Dodgers, just because it's like, I feel like LA is as close to hometown as it's going to get for me. But then also, I don't like the Dodgers. I don't like the fan base. I don't like the idea of stomping a dude to death in front of his children because we lost a baseball game. So that is a little bit hard to like get into. And then the other, like if I had to choose, it would either be Dodgers or Angels. But I just don't feel I don't feel strongly towards either one. The Padres? The A's? Maybe after they move to Vegas, I'll try to get into the A's. Isn't that where they're going? I don't know. I just can't get into baseball. I've seen it on TV. I've seen it live. Maybe I need to see it live. It's been quite some time since I've been to an actual baseball game in person. I think the last time I went was like a minor league game. Like I think I went to like a minor league, the Mavericks, like up in the high desert or something. Can't remember. Same with basketball though too. I've tried watching basketball. I just can't get into it. And you would think I would be into it because it is like a fascinating game to watch. But maybe it's like I don't really have a home team to root for. Again, it's like the LA problem where it's like if I was going to pick a home team, I guess LA is as close as it's going to get. But then especially with basketball, if I were to suddenly start rooting for the Lakers, I feel like it would be that thing of like, of course, gonna jump on the Laker bandwagon. Okay, buddy. So I don't want to do that. But then also, what are the other choices? Like the Clippers? Honestly, it might be kind of cool to be a fan of the Clippers just because they're kind of like the stepchild. Like they're kind of like off on the side. So when they do finally win one, it would be kind of cool to be like, finally, I've been a fan and I finally get to experience the team winning. I don't know. Who else? Could do like an opposite thing. Could be like a Celtics fan. But I don't know. I think that's part of the problem is I don't really feel like I'm connected to a team. I've also never seen basketball live, which I feel like, I mean, any sport that you see live is going to be like 30 times more exciting than on TV, no matter the sport. Man, hockey is awesome, but hockey cannot compare to being there live, dude. It's insane. But in basketball, I don't know. Soccer, unless it's like, World Cup, unless it's America, I don't get into soccer too much. So yeah, that leaves just like football and hockey. Not really into the others. I wouldn't mind doing like, I've done the minor league hockey, Ontario Reign, and it's amazing. And I know that they have the same thing for like basketball and soccer. It's like the minor league version. Might have to check that out. Check out the Ontario version of the basketball games. See some up close dunkage. Maybe that'll change my appreciation of the game. But anyway, done with sports news. Go Broncos country. Let's ride. I can't wait for even though we had a terrible year last year, it was almost worth it for the hilarity that was Russell Wilson being so awkward, dude. Just like Broncos country. Let's ride. Hilarious. Just awkward enough to be funny and not like being made fun of. Like we're making fun of him, but like just because it's like it's funny, not because we don't like you, Russell. You're cool, Russell. No matter how kind of like, even though I think that's what it is. Like Russell Wilson's cool, but he also seems like he's a little bit dorky, which like just makes him even cooler to me. But anyway, lots of celebrity news that we could talk about. Lots of stuff going down in the Hollywood side of things. Not talking about the strike, which I think is still going on, which is interesting that it's been this long. I thought it would have been done by now. And I'm starting to see a little bit of an effect from the strike, because I've been noticing not a ton of new content, like whenever you open up like Hulu or Netflix or whatever, not a ton when all the writers are on strike. So I've noticed a bit of an increase in like Korean television and like Korean TV series, or just like Asian media in general, being imported as a substitute to like all the strikeage. So it's like I've been noticing every time I open it up, it's like new on Hulu, this weird Korean zombie series. I'm just like, seeing a lot more Asian imports, huh? I'm not getting too much new stuff from Hollywood, huh? Which is interesting to see how long it's going to go. Also, when you think about like the movies that are on hold right now, Deadpool, for some reason, is the only one that keeps coming to mind. But basically, any movie that's in production, I think I saw the cost of like the fact that they're just not working on the movie. It costs like a certain amount of money each day that they're losing on just not being able to work on the movie. So you would think that would be adding pressure. I wonder if that takes away from the budget or if it just adds to it. Anyway, lots of Hollywood news, celebrity news. Speaking of celebrities, you guys have like a celebrity lookalike? Because apparently I do. I didn't think I did. I don't really think I look too much like anybody in Hollywood. I don't think anyone's ever ran up to being like, oh my God, Brad Pitt. Or like mistaken me for anybody. I remember there was one dude, this guy made my day, bro. This guy, I remember I was like walking up to like the grocery store or something. I got out of my car and I'm walking by this dude, and this guy just casually walking by me was like, whoa, look at this Leo DiCaprio looking motherfucker. And I was like, huh? Did you just call me Leo DiCaprio? Or what did he say? Maybe he didn't say Leo. He was like, look at this Titanic looking motherfucker. And I was like, whoa, dude. Did you just allude to me looking like Leo DiCaprio? I was like, bro, bring it. Dude, that was like the greatest compliment I've gotten in my entire life, dude. For somebody just randomly, some dude just randomly like, whoa, look at this Titanic looking motherfucker. I don't know if that's what he was alluding to. Maybe he thought I looked like Billy Zane. Please, I have a child. Please, make way. I have a child. The way he says that is so... I love the way his delivery. Please, I have a child. And the way he looks so concerned. Billy Zane is like low-key the best part of the Titanic, dude. He's the greatest. Billy Zane. Anyway, so yeah, no one's ever really called me out as a celebrity too often, other than that Billy Zane. But there has been a reoccurring theme where, for whatever reason, I think I might have a Buscemi thing going on. Is it Buscemi? Buscemi? I'm gonna look this up as we talk about it and settle it once for all, because I want to know how it's officially pronounced. Steve Buscemi. But apparently I might look a bit like this dude, and I think it's mostly like in the eyes. In the eyes of the Buscemi. All right, here we go. Let me crank the volume.
Steve Buscemi.
Okay, there we go. Steve Buscemi. So evidently, I might have a Steve Buscemi kind of thing going on, because at two drastically different moments in my life, two completely unrelated people have said that I look exactly like Steve Buscemi. There was like one time long ago, they were like, yeah, and like he said that like you remind him of Steve Buscemi, and like at the time, I remember being like, ooh, what? Steve Buscemi, dude? Like the dude that's like notoriously known for being like kind of, I don't want to say ugly, because don't get me wrong, I love me some Buscemi, dude. Steve Buscemi is Steve Buscemi the Shizzle. Reservoir Dogs, Fargo, Boardwalk Empire, any Adam Sandler movie, dude. Steve Buscemi is the greatest. Are we square? I love that part in Fargo where he's got like half of his cheek blown off and he's just like, "Are we square?" I said, "Are we square?" Love that part. Fed into a wood chipper, dude. Steve Buscemi is the greatest. But at the time, I remember being like, "Oh, thanks a lot for saying that I look like the dude who's like notoriously known for being like not what you would call like handsome, right? Like not the." I feel bad saying that because he's not like ugly. He's just like got lots of character. He has like a definite. I think it's the eyes. I think it's like he has like a bug eye kind of thing. That maybe. Also, he has like some pretty blue eyes, so maybe that's what it is too. But anyway, and then 3 years later, out of nowhere, some dude was like, "Hey man, you're kind of like reminding me of Steve Buscemi," and I'm just like, "Are you kidding me?" Okay, well then it's not just like a random occurrence. It's like there must be something there. Must be some kind of like foundational thing that we have in common. Me and Steve Buscemi, dude. Maybe I'll be Crazy Eyes from. Which movie is it? Mr. D. It's Crazy Eyes. Is that what they call it? I don't know. Where he's just like literally looking off in the different direction. Steve Buscemi is all-time cool, but I think at the time I was a little bit upset, but now it's like, dude, I completely take it as a compliment. Steve Buscemi is not only an amazing actor, but he's like all-time cool. Whatever that show is, Miracle Workers, dude. I love Miracle Workers so much. Daniel Radcliffe, too. Harry Potter, all up in that thing. I love it because every season is like a completely different story, a completely different aesthetic. There's one, I think it starts, the first one is like they're in heaven and they're angels. This new one is like a post-apocalyptic world. The one before was like an Oregon Trail kind of thing, like a pioneer kind of thing. It's awesome how every season is like a completely different theme, but Steve Buscemi is so unbelievably funny in that show, dude. He is next level GOAT status, dude. GOAT. Awesome. But how did we get here? Yeah, celebrities, right? Is celebrities what we were talking about? Because there's quite a lot going on in the tabloids. I don't even know. It's weird, too, because I'm going to try to talk about this stuff that I'm so removed from, like so out of the loop on these celebrities that I barely know. But I don't know. Should we talk about Lizzo or should we talk about Ariana Grande? Because they both seem to be like getting some headlines. And they're both like, let's talk about the Lizzo thing, all right? Let's talk about Lizzo because it's kind of the more funny of the two stories. Lizzo getting Lizzo lit up, getting lizzed up. Lizzo getting lit up online because I think like 2 or 3 of her like backup dancers came out and are like suing her for like crazy stuff. Like they're suing her for like wrongful termination or just like overall abuse or like sexual abuse kind of stuff because like the stories, and it's one of those things too where you have to weigh it. It's like, all right, how much truth and fiction is like, you have to read both stories and kind of find the truth like in the middle somewhere. So it's like, first it's like, whoa man, all this abuse, and she was like yelling at us for being like not skinny enough. She was like weight shaming us, which on one hand is like hilarious, dude. But then also on the other hand, it's like, yeah, I guess I kind of like get it, dude. Like it's funny to think about Lizzo being like, hey, get that chocolate out of your mouth, and like slapping her dancers and be like, hey, you're getting a little big there. How about you stop it second? Or like just imagine them out to dinner and be like, oh, you're not going to get the salad, huh? I'm like, Lizzo, what are you talking about? Lizzo, you're literally eating a giant chocolate cake as you fat shame me. But then on the other hand, it's like, I get it. Lizzo's like, hey, and then also, I'm Lizzo. I'm the one who's allowed to be like the big no shame in my body kind of thing. Sure, maybe I'll have a couple dancers, but there's a difference between me and you. Like, I'm the star. So if I want to be like big or skinny or whatever, that's on me. You're just a dancer. And then it like starts to kick up another notch too when it gets into like all the Amsterdam stuff, because then also too it's like you gotta weigh it because it's like, oh, Lizzo took me to the red light district and she was making me watch people fuck, and she was making me squeeze some titties, and she was making me eat a banana out of some puss. And it's like, well, okay, all right, well, yeah, I was okay. I was on Lizzo's side up until the banana part. Then it's like, all right, we're pushing it. But also, you weigh it on like, okay, but that also kind of sounds just like some rockstar shit, right? Like, just imagine like taking out the name of Lizzo and just put like Motley Crue. Like, dude, Motley Crue, did you hear about Tommy Lee was eating some banana out of some chick's puss? And it's like, yeah, bro, it's goddamn Tommy Lee and Motley Crue. I'm surprised that's the least that they did, dude. So it's like, initially you're like, oh my goodness, a banana, oh no. But then like immediately after, it's just like, oh, she's just a fucking rock star, dude, just living that rock star life, dude. Like, like, you take out someone else's name, you do the old swapperoo, and it's like, who cares, dude? If it was like Post Malone goes crazy in Amsterdam, and it's like, yeah, because why wouldn't you, dude? You're goddamn Post Malone. Same thing with Lizzo. It's like, oh man, the debauchery on this world tour, and it's like, well, she's a goddamn rock star, dude. Like, what? You don't like it? Get the fuck out of here. I think initially I was on like the side of like, oh, Lizzo, like, ugh. But then like the more I thought about it, it's just like, I think I'm more on Lizzo's side. Just thinking about her, thinking about Lizzo like talking to her dancers and being like, yeah, we need to talk about your big fat ass, and them just being like, but you're big fat ass though. And then Lizzo being like, yeah, but I'm the star. My big fat ass is a star. You're a fucking dancer. So either lose a little weight or get the fuck out of here. Maybe that's why she maybe that's why she brought in the banana, dude. I mean, it's healthy. Potassium stops you from cramping. I mean, like, if anything, she's on like a health kick. Is what it sounds like. But then again, like, I don't know jack about Lizzo, dude. I cannot name a single one of her songs. Maybe if I heard it, I'd be like, oh, so that's Lizzo. The only thing I know Lizzo as, being the nerdy dude I am, I only know Lizzo from that terrible Mandalorian episode where she's like the guest star with Jack Black. What an abomination that episode was. Terrible from start to finish, and then also some of the worst Baby Yoda usage ever, dude. Am I the only one that's like, dude, stop with the Baby Yoda. Either have him grow up a little bit, or like, something needs to happen, dude, because it's not working with the Baby Yoda. Have you seen when they make that stupid doll flip and jump around? It looks like they're literally just tossing a stuffed animal in the air, dude. It looks so... And it's like this huge contradictory like visual stimulation, because it's like you've got these spaceships and like other planets and other creatures. They're like amazing CGI, and then this stupid puppet that's just like bouncing in the dumbest, like, it looks so It looks so, like, it just doesn't mesh, dude. And then on top of that, like, it's just, But it's also funny that that's my only link to Lizzo is her terrible Mandalorian episode. Dude, and I was so hyped because Jack Black is in that episode. Helicopter. I was so hyped on Jack Black being in that episode, and it was just like one of the worst episodes. That whole series is like, I'm trying, dude. I am trying to hold on. Like, I'm trying to get like a really good grip, but it's just slowly losing me, dude. But I mean, we'll see. Got that Ahsoka show coming out, which should be cool. But we're getting sidetracked on celebrity news because I did want to talk about the other celebrity news, which I'm going to have to look up because I don't know the other dude's name because I'm also like kind of out of the loop on topical stuff. Ariana Grande and her whole thing going down with this dude, Ethan Slater, which is so fascinating, dude. It is so endlessly curious, dude. Just curious and more curiouser. Like, it's so, like, it exploded, dude, with like, oh, Ariana Grande and this other dude, like, they were both in relationships and like they're getting with each other while still in their relationships. Yeah, okay, that's very scandalous and crazy. Whoa, oh my gosh, whoa, I can't believe it. But you want to know what the real unbelievable part of this story is? The real part that I just cannot wrap my head around is just who this guy is, dude. I remember being like, who is this, like, Ethan Slater, dude? I remember I was, like, talking with people at work trying to understand, like, what is going on with this Ariana Grande thing? Why is this always in my feed? And then they're like, yeah, she's hooking up with SpongeBob. And I'm like, what? What? Because I know it's not SpongeBob. When they said she's hooking up with SpongeBob, I thought they were talking about like the voice actor, like the dude who does the voice for SpongeBob, who ironically looks sort of like Ethan Slater, dude. It's weird. And then they're like, no, it's Ethan Slater, SpongeBob from Broadway. And I'm just like, first of all, what? First of all, there's a SpongeBob on Broadway. Like, that's something I had no idea about. But then, when you look up pictures of this dude, it is the most, like, baffling. Because it's like, on the one hand, I get it, dude. Ethan Slater, I get it. They're like, oh, man, how could you leave your... How did you leave your fiance or wife or whatever it was in your family for Ariana Grande? And it's like, she's Ariana Grande and I'm fucking Ethan Slater? Have you seen me, dude? Have you seen her? Talk about an upgrade. Of course. Like, who's gonna blame me for swapping over to Ariana Grande? But the part that's like, it's just like the opposite side of that's like, huh? That she is like, dude, this Ethan Slater dude is fucking cool. Have you seen the way he acts like SpongeBob on stage? It's insane. Yeah, she does have like a huge SpongeBob fetish? Does he do the laugh when he's with her? Like that, nah. I can't even do it. She must have a huge under the sea fetish or something, or that dude is packing a spatula, dude. He's packing a major jellyfish net, if you know what I'm saying, dude. Like, I don't understand. I don't get it. Like, I get him. I understand him being like, I don't know. I can't even remember what my wife looks like. All I see is Ariana Grande. But for her to be the same way is just like, I mean, it's in the eye of the beholder, right? Like, I'm also not the best judge of dudes, but I mean, Ethan Slater is not my thing, dude. But I'm telling you, the dude's probably packing a spatula in those square pants, dude. Yeah, but we could probably call it an episode there. Thank you so much for tuning in, and if you haven't already, you hit that like and subscribe button, and nothing's gonna help this show more. It's much appreciated. I am your host as always, Kyle McLemore, and we'll see you next time on the pod.